You know, if it's one thing this movie gets right, it's just about everything. So, Watchmen is loosely based off the graphic novel, and it basically has an ensemble cast of great actors, okay? Great actors. So, this is one of those movies where if you're a fan of the book, you're probably not going to like some of the changes in this movie, okay? But me, after reading the book and then seeing this movie, I love this movie. And in fact, I think some of the changes are even better than they are in the graphic novel. So, yeah. All for the sake of a better movie is why I'm allowing it. Okay? So, basically, I'm going to give you a simple plot, because if I try to explain all of this shit, we'll be here for like 5 hours, and my camera can only allow 3 hours. So, anyway, the plot is set in an alternate 1985. At the height of the Cold War, okay, Nixon is still president, going on his 3rd term by now. We won Vietnam, making Vietnam the 51st state of the United States. And of course, we're also basically against the Soviet Union. And mass vigilante since the 1940s has been stopping crime all over the city. But in 1970, an act went out that made them more like criminals, and they all got rounded up, and only the comedian and another hero, somewhat hero, anti-hero, are allowed to fight crime. Rorschach, however, continues to fight crime in the streets, even though he's wanted by police. And when one of the Watchmen is murdered by an unseen assailant, Rorschach gets on the case and finds out who did it. All the while, this plot will lead them to a more sinister and more, how do you say, conspiracy against the team. That's about all I can try and put it for you. So how is this movie? This movie's fucking astounding. Zack Snyder does a great job with the visual effects, as always. Visual effects are always amazing. And he even went as far as to make sets for this movie. Most of these things are realistic, okay? And I love the attention to detail he puts in each of the backgrounds, from the posters to the original design of the World Trade Center. Probably the last time we'll ever see the original World Trade Center in a film history. In film history, by the way. So that was nice to see that in the movie. And no, I'm not counting Fringe. Fringe is the TV show. I'm talking about movie history. That's probably the last time we see the World Trade Center ever again, since now the new World Trade Centers are now showing up in newer movies. So that was pretty cool for him to throw that in there. This is more along the lines of like a character arc in a way. It has action in it, but it's more about the story in a way. So if you're an action nut, you're not going to really care about this movie much. You really have to care about cinema in order to appreciate this movie. Okay? Now, I've seen both cuts. I've seen the theatrical cut in theaters, and this cut I'm reviewing is the director's cut, of course, as you can tell by the title. I really see no difference. From what I can remember, I don't really see a difference besides the runtime. The runtime was like 2 hours and 41 minutes in theaters. This is 3 hours and 5 minutes right here. So, yeah. It took me a minute to finish it, but I got it done. I love visual effects, the action. The action is like hard hitting in this movie. You can hear every punch. There's no music playing sometimes. Sometimes. In certain scenes, it's more along the lines you can just hear the punches and that's it. No music or nothing like that. But when the music does play, you can still hear those punches. And they fucking sound like they hurt. Okay? Even going as far as along the line of saying, showing Owlman and, of course, Suspector number 2 fighting a bunch of muggers in the alley without their costumes on, and I remember them breaking shit, but I don't remember Night Owl breaking the man's arm to the point where the bone comes out and CGI blood squirts out. That was awesome. That was fucking awesome. And yes, there are a lot of CGI blood in this movie. So if you don't like CGI blood, nothing I can do about it. But yeah. And when you eventually do find out what's going on in this movie, you'd be like, that's like the biggest what the fuck moment in the entire movie. But you know what? The movie's downright awesome for it. Now I know there's been some complaints about the ending of the movie. The ending has changed, but the meaning is still the same. So as long as it's still the same meaning, it's fine. Just because they don't have a certain giant monster in there, squid, who's saying which one it is, doesn't mean a damn thing. It doesn't take away from the movie. The movie itself is awesome. The sex scene, however, is a little overlong. Kind of overstays its welcome by 2 minutes, at least. Could have been at least 30 to 60 seconds long. It didn't really need to be that fucking long. I mean, come on now. Especially when they brought kids into the movie theater to go see this movie. Yeah, there were kids in that theater when I went to go see this movie 5 years ago. God damn, 5 years ago. So yeah, and I don't know what the parents did, but that between that part and then the blood and the violence, even though the movie was R-rated, people, come on now. Never take your kids to a fucking R-rated movie. Who cares if it's superheroes? If it's R-rated, the kids should stay away. I'm just saying. I gotta be a role model for somebody. But anyway, superb acting, by the way, by all the cast, just phenomenal. And Zack Snyder does hire exceptional talent. He doesn't let nobody go to waste, and it's nice to see that. Okay, I'm not going to complain about the film's runtime because it's a director's cut. It's supposed to be that long. I didn't complain about it when I saw it in theaters, and I'm not going to complain about it now. But all in all, Watchmen is the best adaptation of a comic I've ever seen, even outshining V for Vendetta by a mile. I'm going to give Watchmen an A. If you have not seen Watchmen yet, you should. It is very enjoyable. So let me know what you guys think about Watchmen down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? And I don't know. Do you like the movie better or the graphic novel? I can kind of think where that's going to go, but I got to ask anyway. Alright, so let me know. I'll catch y'all guys later.